Hey everybody, welcome to our weekly ecosystem office hours call. I am your host Jinx, and we are joined as always by the best and brightest in the Pocket ecosystem. However, seems like some folks are late today, so hopefully they'll be showing up here in just a minute. I do see that Lowell just joined us. Good. Still waiting on Fred or Art from Grove to join in so we can get our protocol updates. But since Lowell's here and they are not, I'm going to totally put him on the spot with a little lead in here. Everybody who's been waiting for migration, and not just migration, but also the ability to stake from your web wallet, the Node Fleet crew has been working on that. And they are very, very close to pushing that out into production. I've been testing that wallet this week. They've been running it on testnet with some tokens in there for staking purposes and all that. And so far, everything seems to be going pretty darn well. So, Lowell, you want to take over here and give a demonstration of where y'all are at with that?
Oh yeah. Just give me some minutes. My brother got more contacts and got the demo running, so I'll let him join and let you know.
Perfect. Okay. Well, while we were waiting on that, I'll also give some updates on the general state of our tooling that's in progress right now. As some of y'all are aware, or may even be following, we've contracted Raid Guild to do a number of updates and additional tooling builds within the ecosystem. One of the things that they're doing is updating our internal explorer.pocket.network with the standard look and feel, and using the UI kit that was developed to match the Pocket branding. But one of the other things that they're working on, which I'm super excited about, is a DeFi dashboard for Pocket. Since we are going to be supporting IBC's unified multi-chain solution, we also wanted to bring all of the bridging stuff together. So a number of folks have been asking about WPocket deprecation and all the things that are planned with that. And to be perfectly honest, that system was okay. It certainly accomplished what it was intended to do, but it was janky as hell. You would have to use wpocket.network to wrap tokens from Pocket's L1 over to ETH, and then you'd have to use bridge.pocket.network to move from WPocket into one of the other supported EVM chains, Base and Solana being the primary use case there. That was all a hot mess. The good thing is we were able to build a solid economy there. We have seen some pretty significant EVM adoption of the other Pocket chain options. And with IBC support in progress now, we are not far out from our Axelar bridge so that we are fully IBC integrated across the entire ecosystem. I did see that over the course of the last week and a half or so, the protocol engineering team got a number of PRs open around IBC support integration. So that is in progress now. Once that is completed, we will have the Axelar bridge build. So that should be accomplished in fairly short order. And then Raid Guild is working on an integrated DeFi dashboard, which not only pulls in the Axelar bridge functionality so that it's nice and contained within our existing ecosystem, which would be at bridge.pocket.network, but also has the ability to use IBC for multi-chain relay and a number of the standard information and data points that you might expect to see from a DeFi dashboard. So given that we are across multiple potential token environments and such, we wanted to have one place where you could see all of that at a glance. So I've seen some of we're still, fairly early in that process of developing the UI, but some of you have talked to Suede already over the course of the last couple of weeks. I have another call with him today. We're starting to see how some of that layout will work. But basically, you'll have a single dashboard where you can see the current price and price performance across multiple chains. You'll be able to spot arbitrage opportunities very, very quickly between them and perhaps take advantage of them using some of the IBC bridging capabilities. And also being able to view other relevant DeFi statistics and metrics all in a single dashboard. So we are looking forward to seeing that up and running once Axelar is live, and we'll progress from there. I do see that Art has joined us from the Grove team. I don't see Fred or anyone else. Art, are you going to give us the protocol updates this week?
I'll do my best. Yeah, Fred is busy this afternoon, and he won't be here next week either. So on our end, so we're putting together release 1.27, which has I think fixes for session rollovers, the ability to dispatch WebSockets requests, Comet BFT requests, REST requests, or at least some guidance there, and has massive reduction in state. I can't speak to all of it. It's just one of those. We have a couple priorities that are all kind of live. A lot of this is already merged in. There's also tokenomics changes that are going to go live, which will be merged in and live on beta by the end of the week, but then they won't go live until the 28th, because next week, both Olshansky and Fred are taking a little bit of time off. So we're not going to launch something on mainnet while, two of the leaders are not around, but it will be on beta for testing. Beyond that, just hustling through, pushing a bunch of fixes and improvements rather on path for observability and analytics. Something that node runners will know is that the Grove team will, more of the engineering team will be interacting with the node running team directly. We've had Rosh specifically in our team interacting with node runners, as we have built a lot more granular observability and have been able to basically call out whenever there were issues with any node runners, and appreciate all node runners responding and fixing their issues within a decent amount, I don't know how to say it, like an appropriate amount of time. But we will be interacting with all of you as best as possible to make sure that our success rates stay above 3 nines, which they are for some chains, but not all of them yet. Beyond that, the only other thing I want to call out, and Jinx, I'm not sure if you touched in the first few minutes, but maybe worth touching, you or Tracy or Ramiro, is regarding rewards. Right now, to the best of my knowledge, the reward mechanism isn't working properly. Neither the validators, the DAO, or service owners, meaning the people who register like the ETH chain or the Optimism chain, etc., are getting their rewards from relays. The only people getting rewards are the relay miners and the node operators. When we launch inevitably 1.27, which should have the fixes to tokenomics, everyone will be getting their rewards based on whatever percentages were agreed upon earlier by the DAO. I don't remember those head. But the difference here is, and this is the piece that I'm not sure, so what I'm about to say might be annoying, but worth discussing, is that if let's say you are minting 10 pocket today, you will be minting a fraction of that 10 pocket. Let's call it 70 or 80%, whatever the allocation is to node runners, because the other 10 to 15 to 20% will be now allocated to the DAO, service owners, and the validators. So TLDR would be less pocket going out, which isn't ideal, but that's I think how the tokenomics are set up today, and I think that's worth having a discussion if it hasn't been had. And I'm just calling this out ahead of time. Beyond that, I don't think there are any other updates except for the ones I posted the other day. One, my talk from Ripple's live. I was given 10 minutes, so had to speak very quickly. So anyone who's watched it, I appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Obviously, feel free to share it around. And two, over the last week or two, BD has really ramped up, and I took the opportunity to build out a slide deck that turned into like a very small website that's 10 slides that explains to anyone who is a tiny bit technical, but definitely in this space, what solution Pocket solves and how Grove helps build on that solution. And we have been using that as the BD deck for a ton of different partners, from institutional to Let's, and gotten good results and good feedback from it in the last week or so since it went live. That's my update.
Beautiful. Thanks, Art. And one question specifically about the WebSocket support. I've heard or I've been asked some questions about the status of that currently, and I think that I've heard a few different things. One was that it was supported in Path with protocol implementation pending, and then I guess there are still some other
Sure.
things
Yeah.
to do about that. So can you clarify that a little bit?
Yeah. So all the features are built in. The quality wasn't there. So we're working through, and neither do we have a node runner that had the right port open for it. So we are working on that right now. The plan with 1.27 is to have all the features available and ready to go and all the ports open properly, like, and have the protocol properly be able to handle those requests. However, we're going to need to do some testing. I already have half a dozen clients lined up for this, and I'm just telling them like a couple more weeks. So it'll be in early August, I think, would be the earliest we could launch this. But we've been doing some light testing on our end anyway.
Beautiful. Okay, cool. Good to have a definitive answer. All right. And then for anyone who was waiting on validator staking from PNF, which has been a part of the F-Chains program that has not been implemented yet, that specifically has not gone live yet because of the fact that the validator rewards are not enabled yet. So we are waiting for that 127 fix to actually go live on staking the validators for PNF, so that rewards are properly there for running that infrastructure. I will reiterate once again that if you are a validator as part of the F-Chains program, that the expectation is that you are quickly responding to the update cycles as they come in. It's going to be critical that we are able to adopt changes in a rapid manner. So we'll note that. Okay. And I think now that Kajab is here, we are ready to demonstrate the wallet, are we?
Sure. Let me share my screen.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Hi, everyone. So basically, let me just look for the right. Okay. So what we are building here is the process migration for Mars to Shannon account, and also we have created a stake process, so a user with no custodial can stake, right? Unfortunately, I don't have any Mars file yet, because I spent it all. I just have the private key, but basically it will work either way. So let me just import another wallet. I'm looking for the key right now. So basically, we have two imports, Shannon and Morse. And the part for Morse, you can either import a JSON key file that is the armor key, or you can, you can, if you have the private key, you can just paste it here. It will also work if you have a list of private key, just as the node runner has in the mesh before. So it will work either way with the private key and also with the armor key. So when we import the Morse account, you can go to migrate. Once you have your Shannon wallet imported or created, you're gonna see this UI. First, he's gonna send you to the faucet. So you fill the Shannon account with the MAC tokens, right? In this case, I'm gonna do it in mainnet. Sorry, in testnet, because this is the staging UI that we have. So we are still fixing some things to launch in mainnet. So everything that I'm gonna do here it's gonna be in beta. So basically, I'm gonna first migrate the Morse account. This link is going to send me to the faucet beta testnet so I can fill my wallet with the MACT token. So I'm just in another tab filling up the account. It's taking a while. Yeah, okay. So the transaction just passed. So when I think I need to fix this because I already have the token in the wallet. So yeah, that's just an error that it doesn't have to be there. So yeah, the two accounts were migrated. You can see the amount of pocket change. Let me do it in mainnet now. I think it will work in mainnet. So I will do the same steps. I will fill my Shannon wallet because this was a new Shannon wallet that I haven't used in mainnet. Okay. Okay, now the Shannon wallet exists. Okay, I need to fix that. So it seems like I'm not updating this, but yeah, you can see that the Shannon wallet was created. Now let me migrate that to mainnet. Okay, so yeah, that was the whole process. If we hit on view on podcast scan, we can see the oh, where is the transaction? Okay, the signer account was another one, so the transaction won't be here. So, but you can see we're migrated. If I hear on Morse, you can see that I had set up that 97 pockets also in this one. So the sum of it is going to be the amount that I migrate on testnet. Oh, you can see the transaction here. Yeah, this is the transaction history. So for the part of a stake, is the same. You just have to hit stake. This is for a stake, a non-custodial node, right? For this execute the code, and you download a file that the user have to pass it to the node runner so they can use this node. This is actually the node that has the pockets on it. If you can see the okay, just let's wait for a bit because the account has to be created then. Okay, seems like there's something happening here. Let me a second. Okay, let me share my other screen so you can see the transactions happening in Pakistan in the Explorer. Wait. I'm gonna change stream. Okay, so this was a bunch of tests that I did for the stake supplier, and this was the Morse account that we claim later. Um, seems like the stake didn't went through. Let me see if I did something wrong. Okay, I'm gonna do it on testnet. We have disabled the main function in staging, so because we are doing test. Okay, so let me see. It seems that I'm having an error staking no custodial. I'm looking to it, so it probably is the RPC or something.
Can I show you the stake UI? Just to summarize it.
Okay, I'm showing the POKT scan. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's basically what we have on our end. The staking, it's working on beta.net right now. We are just doing some fast testing to release it on mainnet. But migration is working on mainnet on this URL. We're gonna be like releasing the links today in the community, so you can use them and also test beta.net if you like. We have beta.net and mainnet, and feel free to use any of them. And staking, once we finish the last testing, so you can also stake and send your configuration files to your own node provider. We have plans of adding as well in the same UI more information about the node provider, so you can directly stake using this UI. So this will be a joint effort with the other node providers. Yeah, so I think that's basically it.
Yeah.
Wrap up.
Since we're live, I don't know why it's not staking right now, but I'm gonna take a look to it. But basically, this is the entire flow of how to stake a non-custodial from this UI. I'm gonna be fixing this, and then I'm gonna share the link so the other node runners can give me an opinion and test their stuff, so I can get a feedback, and then we can work on that right away. But yeah, that's basically the wallet that we are working on.
Beautiful. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate seeing the update, and it's nice to see the some things in there like stake and transaction history that we normally expect to have. We will be integrating this functionality with the official Pocket Network web wallet once all of this is ready and done. So we will keep y'all posted on that. Any questions on that? That was a lot of information that we covered. Yeah, Hollis says that UI looks awesome and easy to use. Can't wait to stake on it. Agreed. And a lot of people have been asking about when non-custodial staking from the wallet would be available again. So here you go. Now you have the answer to that. No questions? Okay. Well, while they're doing that, or I guess they're finished doing that, but you're still screen sharing, just FYI.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. It's this is a test wallet, so it's okay. So
I got
I'm
you.
gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna try it again. So I just log
Oh
out
yeah,
from
by all means,
everything
feel free.
because I think I
Yep.
have something in the cache, and that's why it wasn't working. So I'm gonna try to import everything again. This is the mainnet one. I'm gonna go to the testnet one and then stake it. I cannot stake more than the balance that I have. That's a condition that we put here. So let me try it again. Securing the so that should be let me see. Okay, no, it wasn't it. So okay, I will fix it and then I will get back to you guys. So thank you for letting me show in this.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Also, do want to give an update on the MOU that a lot of y'all may have seen published in regards to us working with a group out in Korea, Superblock and Over Protocol. We are beginning the process of working with them to start their gateway setup next week. And the timing on that is particularly great. Korea has a law in Congress right now that is establishing their digital asset regulatory framework that is broadly expected to pass with a strong governmental support. And that opens the door for them to start doing more with introducing and using stable coins and things along that line. That marketplace is brand new and largely untapped, but for that particular purpose. But Korea is a huge marketplace when it comes to crypto trading, as y'all have seen from the Upbit trade activity that has been one of the biggest drivers of Pocket's movement in the marketplace currently. So we expect that once that gateway is live, that the potential for traffic there is significant, and we're super excited about that. So we will continue to provide updates as that progresses, but just wanted to let y'all know that is actively in progress. And that brings us to the end of the things that we had on the agenda to discuss today. Does anyone have questions or topics that they want to bring up for discussion?
Hi, yeah, I do have one. This is just a heads up. I just passed a thread from a GitHub issue that we have created. There is some update planned to the protocol to reduce block space that will cripple all granularity that we have on reworks for node runners. And we would we've been trying to get some specific fields to be included in the block. And we would like to have your support if you are interested in see this kind of granularity, to keep on seeing it. We mean we are going to lose the ability to tell which chain is providing you with the largest gain, for example, something that you all want, or which provider, if you use the same output address for your nodes, you wouldn't be able to tell which provider is giving you the highest amount of rewards. So I think this is something that the whole community kind of likes to see in PocketScan. So unless we convince the Olshansky to add these fields, we will have a very, very harsh time recreating them, and probably we won't be able to have them on PocketScan. I don't know for how long. So please give us a little support in this issue, and it will be appreciated if it's important for you too. I think it is.
Can you just link me to the post? I can take a look. I kind of heard little rumblings. Just DM me if you don't mind, because I'm not by the computer right now. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Take a look. Because I mean, now obviously this is something that is needed. So I only have your side of the context. I don't have his. So clearly there's either a disconnect somewhere, or there's some rational decision as to why this might be disappearing or might come back later.
Yeah. The rationale behind this is the block is getting too big. It was too big when Shannon was launched, and it has to be reduced. That's correct. That's something that's needed to be done. There was a lot of information that was redundant inside the block. But part of that, so they decided to remove a whole bunch of information around how the rewards are settled. But we are proposing to not completely remove, but to reduce it like a factor of 7x approximately, and keep some very important parts, like for each claim, which is the node that receives a reward and how much it received. Because the only data that is left from the minting is like the addition of, in a given block, all the claims that a given address had. It will be a single transaction that will tell you, okay, this block minted 100 pocket for you. And that's the only thing that is being kept on the block. And all the granularity of how that 100 pocket came to be, like which chain, which provider, and so on, is going to be removed. And recovering that information from the claims alone that are being settled on each block will make us recreate a validator, basically. So it's a lot of hardware, and it's very complex task that we need to do in only 30 seconds per block. So it's not viable with the hardware that we have. So it will bring us a tremendous amount of problems. So we think that including a simple structure that saying, okay, this claim was done, and it was the tokens were sent to these addresses, and that's it. That's the only thing that we need, and it's much, much, much more small than what currently is being stored in the block. So
yeah, there's nothing capricious or malicious or anything else that's happening. Just right now, there's some redesign being done around optimization, and there are a few places where information is just really hard to get. Like when we were trying to track down current F-chain reward performance, there you literally have to query at multiple block heights trying to find iteration of token balance value, because there's no way to query for the actual transactions that generated amounts and all the rest of that. So those are some of the things that I think Ramiro is trying to help with the optimization design around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have to query the databases or go back in time in the blockchain to retrieve, for example, for Ethereum, how much does this output address is getting for Ethereum for this particular supplier. So imagine doing that for each of the output addresses of each of the suppliers on each of the chains. So the computational bloat is too big, and the time is very little between blocks. So it's not something that we could math out. It's something that we need.
And without any ability to see line item transactions around rewards, there's no way to determine if like reward amounts are incorrect or to troubleshoot problems with rewards. So it's just like, how do we balance the need for detailed line item data with the need to optimize block size as much as possible to prevent block bloat? So it's definitely one of those like high-end architectural conversations that is ongoing right now.
Yeah, there is a little urgency around this, that because it's planned to be launched on 27. So yeah, please, if you are interested, go and comment there as soon as possible.
Also, a minor note here that once the version that 27 is out, we will lose all the capacity of track the rewards until we rework entirely how the rewards are tracked and reindex everything back. So we already warned about this more than 1 week ago, or even a few more days. They already know, but they keep going on. So we are not able to do anything else if PNF and the community does not support us in this movement. Because yes, the block size is important, I know, but why, for example, does not work the prune tuning? So we don't need to keep all the blocks. There are other ways, there are other things that can be done. We also provide an example, and more than a week without keep any new about that. And when the answer come back, is just asking the same that we already explained doesn't work. So this is a waste of time on back and forth that is doing nothing about the problem. If that version is released with the change, we will lose the capacity of track any reward, and will take a good bunch of time to get that done again.
Yeah, and this also includes the API, because the API basically will query parts that are going to be removed. So there is a big amount of work to do on the POKT text. If this is just removed and there is no there is no alternative plan to recover the information.
Yeah, understood here. Yeah, and it's, I mean, just from an architectural perspective, and I've read through the ticket, trying to make sure that I understand the issues and all the rest of that. From an architectural perspective, we can't expect transactional history to be offloaded to third-party providers. That's just not a reasonable expectation. So it's one of those things where the community and the engineering and protocol teams need to work together to try to find a useful and workable middle ground between block size optimization and what data is actually stored on chain.
Yeah, well, thank you for your patience, and that's all.
Beautiful. All right. Well, does anybody have any other questions or comments around that, or anything else, really? All righty. Well, thanks as always, everyone, for taking the time to show up and contribute to these weekly meetings. They are an important discussion point for the entire ecosystem. So your presence and the time that you spend here is always greatly appreciated. And I will see you all again next week. Same time, same channel.
Thank you, Jinx. Bye-bye.
Thank you.